Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Astrology Victoria. Today, with your host Tatiana, also broadcasting for ANN Archetypal News Network. And today, I'm going to bring you the astrology forecast for the month of January, a comprehensive view. Happy New Year, by the way, and this year it starts with a lot of Capricorn energy, Earth energy, grounding energy, reviewing of our goals, our desires, and our relationships. It can get a little bit heavy or intense relationship-wise, especially the first week of this month. So let's take a look at the chart and what we're starting with. Alrighty, so here we have a lot of Capricorn energy. You see, we have the Sun, Mercury, Pluto, and Venus all in the sign of Capricorn. So this very heavy energy Capricorn has us being more serious about our goals, our commitments, the things we want to do, the things we love, and make sure we're trying to ground that in reality. As you see this image, my beautiful Capricorn image, the Capricorn is the one that goes from the water all the way to the top relentlessly. There is no time for the fluffy and the fairy-like. It's more grounded, it's realistic. And the things that we might see also this week in particular with the Venus conjunct Pluto, the first week of January, is that our relationships can get intense. And intense can be something really good. It could be passionate, and there could be a lot of intensity in relationships. However, we might also see the shadow side of the Pluto Venus, which could be obsessions, jealousy, and all of this just for one reason, so that we can see what things are working in our relationships, and if there are power dynamics, how we can move past them and evolve them into something better for us, better for our partners. And that's not only for people that are together in a romantic relationship. This is relationships of all kinds. It can be with your spouses, of course, children, with people in your life, co-workers. It's also, because it's in Capricorn, it's the dynamics of power. Capricorn speaks about authority. So what in our lives feels like disempowered, or where are we exerting too much power and control? And this we might also see out in the world. A lot of things we might see the dirt really coming out the first week of January. Now, so this is for review. And why review? Because Mercury here is still retrograding. So we also have a little bit of a review about our own sense of power and authority over our own lives. So it's also what we commit to. And it's very interesting because with this Capricorn energy, me in particular, having all this really trining my sun like dead on. I am a Virgo at the 26 degrees. So I can feel this desire to, for example, with the channel, to just make it so much better, much more professional. And I've been working on rebranding and making it the new intro and the thumbnails and getting all this. And I just wonder, why is this so important to me to have something that is of value, and this is of the realm of Venus, to offer to people and make sure it's going to be good and people are going to like it. So you have no idea how much I have doubted even putting this video out, because I'm being really hard on myself, kind of reviewing, is everything that I'm doing, is it good? And remember, Capricorn is also about the appearances are very important, especially for Venus in Capricorn. The appearances of are we being liked, the social appearance is important. And I have been feeling this really, really strongly. And if you're a Virgo, possibly too, or a Taurus, in a positive way. This is just making headway. However, if you have any placements in Cancer, Aries, or Libra at around those same degrees in your birth chart, it could be the sun, the rising, the moon, or any personal planets or angles, you might be experiencing this energy a little bit harder or a challenging. And it's about reviewing our goals. So this is like the start of the year, and there is also something that we definitely need to look at the beginning of the year. It's the sun squaring Chiron. What happens with this energy is that we might doubt ourselves a lot and think that we're not capable of moving forward with what we desire, what truly makes us happy, and the things we really want in life and we really want to achieve. The Chiron square sun might feel like, am I really capable of this? Maybe I'm not good enough. Remember, the being not good enough is a strong placement. The for Chiron in Aries is thinking that what we initiate, that what we want, it's almost like not being able to have the courage. And strangely enough, of course, Jupiter is also in Aries. So we might think, yes, there's all this energy of things we want to achieve and accomplish and move forward with. And then there's this inner fear. Can I actually do it? Is it going to be good enough? How am I going to do this? And there can be a lot of these questionings throughout specifically the first part of the month. So let's explore it. And when we face also ourselves, whether it is through people, through power dynamics, or through just introspection, especially with Mercury retrograde, that introspection helps us see. So the tips would be definitely journaling. Journaling is a big one. And luckily, I actually do follow my own advice. And I did journal quite a bit at the end of the year. And it had been months since I last journaled. And that exercise of journaling is putting your thoughts, and that's the Mercury function, into something that you can see. Because when you're able to see it, then you're able to reflect. And remember, Mercury retrograde periods are for reflection and review. So the reflection, and it could be a reflection on the whole of 2022 and where your life is at. And then the new goal setting is absolutely crucial. And I've been saying this already since last week. It's crucial. And this month, this is still crucial. And as much as fears might come up, it's very important to have the courage to move forward and put yourself out there with what you want. Remember that until Mercury and Mars go direct, which is by the second half of the month, you might still want to do all the adjustments before launching something new. I think it's going to move so fast once every planet is direct. It's going to be like very, very fast moving life. So for now, take it easy. Don't be so hard on yourselves. And I know the Capricorn can feel very hard. And yes, look at yourself deeply, like this image. Look at yourself and look at others. And have compassion also for yourself and your processes. So let's keep going on with the entry of Venus in Aquarius. And this one is very interesting because it's a very dramatic shift of energy from the very serious energy of the Venus in Capricorn to the more liberated sense that when Venus is in Aquarius, we want to feel more free to explore in our relationships and free to be who we truly are. Venus in Aquarius might change our dynamics also to the way we see relationships. So this is the time where if something with that Pluto Venus conjunction comes up, it's also easier to say, you know what? I don't want this anymore. And I'm going to just explore new possibilities. And so what happens when Venus enters in Aquarius is that it helps us value our freedom and our individuality. you see all this energy of this month is about what am I within the fabric of society, and what do I have to contribute that is unique to me within the context of everything. Now, there's something very positive that we will be seeing is as Venus moves forward in the sign of Aquarius, it will be making trines to Mars. And this is also fabulous. So you will see the beginning of the month having a combination of desire to move and act from a place of true desire of expressing one's individuality and uniqueness, and having a little bit of fear around that as well. However, because Mars is in this trine to Venus, it will also give the capacity to act, to start moving forward. So you see, there are supportive aspects, but we do need to take those steps and definitely vanquish that fear of doing what you love, what you want, and what will ultimately give you more freedom, whether it is to free yourself from a relationship or relationships that are not working, or to free yourself from jobs or structures or dynamics in all areas of life that are impeding, that are not helping you move forward as an individual with finding something that you truly value and love to do. This is the time to be your unique self. So this is going to be very prominent at the beginning of the month. And then we will be having the full moon in Cancer. So with the full moon in Cancer, what's going to happen here, this is on January 6th. It's all about security and safety. So we might be feeling that there is a desire to search for a different kind of safety and security, whether it is material, which is more of the Capricorn realm, or emotional, which is from the Cancer realm. But then there might be a need to make sure that everything we're doing will bring us some kind of safety and security. And the issue here is that there is a conflict between all our new goals, aspirations, and personal desires that are of our individual self, the Venus desires, and the need for security and safety. So we might feel here that there is a little bit of a conflict between that we're initiating and all of those things that we want, and whether or not that's going to give me enough sustenance, because the Cancer Capricorn axis is about sustenance. So the antidote here, and this is where something also beautiful happens, is that we have Uranus trining the Sun. So this is big time for change, meaning that those changes need to be effected, yes or yes. Whatever you're feeling to the push to evolve to, just do it, jump. The need to there is a big push, let's say, a big help, evolutionary push to move in a different direction. And if it's not necessarily different, at least it is a direction where we are going to feel that we can have more freedom in general. And how do we free ourselves if not from the shackles of things that we ourselves have made, created with our minds, created with our structures? So now we're trying to free ourselves from those structures and those creations. Remember, freedom is something that is inherent to your thoughts. We are only slaves of our thoughts and our words and our actions. And guess what? If we keep thinking that we cannot do something, then we just will never be able to do it, or will never have the courage to. So what is encouraging now is that this energy of change is really wanting us to go in a new direction. So the word diligent, it comes always to mind, meaning we need to get to it. It's not just a dreamy kind of spaced out energy. It's like, get to it and vanquish that fear, be brave. There is a lot of support for that kind of jumps. And it's different if we had a square from Uranus to the sun. It would be very different. It would be more like a rebellious energy. Here is more like, okay, we need to make a change, let's do it. Okay, so for this full moon in Cancer, make sure you're also taking stock of what your needs for emotional safety are and your needs for material safety are, because this is where the energy is going to help you have this like aha. Also because Uranus is also not only trining the sun, but the sun is conjunct Mercury. So there could be like massive aha moments at this time of how to do it. So trust the process. This is a big one with this energy. Trust that those insights and those flashes of inspiration are there for a reason. And don't just leave them there hanging like, oh yeah, it's great. Do something about it. The earth energy is about doing, affecting, making it. And I am very happy yesterday, within the middle of my holiday, I was like, no, I gotta do this. All day long, I was working on these, this new rebranding. And I'm like, yes, by the end of the day, I was super excited of what I achieved. And that's part of that Capricorn energy. So I know it's a kind of a weird time because it's that kind of holiday season. And it's not the, let's say, socially the best time to be doing this, but energetically it definitely is. So if you can carve out, and this is important, if you can carve out a little bit of your day to making that planning, making those changes, the adjustments, either to your businesses, to your relationships, to whatever it is in your life that wants to move forward, where are those changes taking place? Just do it. Don't procrastinate. This is an energy of no procrastination. So I'm telling you, this is really going to help you, because once you put these things in motion after the second half of the month and things start moving, you're going to go like, wow, thank God I really had all this well planned out and well thought out. So there you have it. So that's going to be the first, that's about the first week. And then we have the second week of, by the second week and third week of the month, we're going to have, finally, we're going to have Mars going direct. And this is where we can definitely start full steam ahead. So this is, and I would say wait until probably Mercury is also direct by January 18th. Venus is sandwiched between Saturn and Pluto, and Venus will be squaring Uranus and also squaring the nodes. So this is the time where every time there is a square to the nodes, the planet squaring the nodes, it's almost like in a crossroads where we have to make decisions, and these decisions are obviously regarding relationships and value. All the Venus themes. What do we value? What do we stand for? What do we relate to? And what are we leaving behind? And what are we now attracting into our lives? And it's that crossroad. So on that week of January 12th of the mid-month, that's where we might even have tests. When Venus is in that difficult aspect, things might not seem so easy, so flowy. We might find ourselves still with difficulties. Where is your self-love, and what do you truly value? And this is where it can get a bit tricky, because Venus in a square to Uranus might go a little bit crazy, like, okay, now I just want to break up with this person and not even like it's almost rebellious. It's like a rebellious energy. Just do things differently, and then things might not turn out so well when it's done in a rush or out of being impulsive. So let me read you a little bit about what a Venus Uranus dynamic could look like, especially if it's in its challenging aspects. So I'm going to read you from my favorite book, The Archetypal Universe by Ren Butler. So the Venus Uranus: romantic and social restlessness, cravings for sexual freedom, which prevent a deeper intimacy, disruptive affairs and triangle situations, sudden attractions without substance, aesthetic disharmony. So all of these themes, I like this. um, aesthetic disharmony. This is exactly the time where you do not want to make any kind of changes in your body because it just might turn out so awkward. And sometimes is that, it's like, I don't know if you remember that time where Britney Spears went and suddenly just had shaved her head and then had a tattoo, and that was back, I don't know, in the early 2000s, I don't remember, but that's kind of that energy of that Venus Uranus, and we just want to be so different. That might go a little bit crazy, and the idea here is to not give into those extremes, because you might meet this person, let's say, and then just leave everything behind and just go crazy because you just want to experience more freedom, and then this doesn't work out, and it just creates a lot of mess in your life. So make sure around that time of the month, around January 12th to January, while Venus is still in this a little bit of a crunch, to not be impulsive. That's the antidote. Not be impulsive. Take deep breaths, assess the situations, and I know you might want to break free from something, but breaking free, it's only good if it's good for all parties. Or doing crazy things is only good if it's going to bring you to something better. Otherwise, just consider things as, well, maybe this is not good for me. Red flags, right? So that is a part of that. By the third week, this is when Mercury goes direct. So when Mercury goes direct, this is where we definitely want to start all the new things, all the new projects and plans. And also on January 20th, we have the sun entering Aquarius. And this particular week is going to be a very, very different energy, also because Uranus goes direct and we will have the new moon in Aquarius. So beam, bada boom. What happens on this week is that the first 2 weeks of January are about planning, strategizing, reviewing. Bam, when Mars and Mercury go direct, what's going to happen? We have a whole different configuration of a lot of Aquarius energy coming in. Venus is going to be closer to Saturn as well. And we will have also the Pluto and Sun conjunction. So we might have a lot of stress this week regarding power dynamics, ego trips. That could happen very much with Pluto and the Sun conjoining. And difficulties again in relationships, feeling that we're everything that we want to do, it's maybe not validated by the outside world, or even validated by ourselves. And what does that mean? Ta-da, ta-da, guess what? It comes all back to self-love, what do you truly value. Don't let others define you. And this is part of this energy, is don't let others define you. You define yourself and you define your goals. So when the sun now enters Aquarius and leaves Capricorn, we're going to have a lot of energy of the new energy and the changes that are coming in your life. This is the time where you're going to start seeing things shift around your life or in your own being. So now by January 21st, this is where we have the new moon in Aquarius. And with this new moon, this is a very different energy from that full moon in Cancer, Capricorn, seeking safety and security. The new moon in Aquarius brings a lot of themes of the planting seeds for that new version of you that you are becoming. This is it. There's going to be so many new things entering your life, especially also because Jupiter here is doing a sextile to this new moon. And this is about personal empowerment because the sun and the sun, Pluto, and the moon will be conjunct. So this is a lot of power coming your way. This is like a dynamite. It's how do you empower yourself? This is not about projecting your need for control on others. This is definitely about you empowering yourself to live your own life and have your own individual voice and expression and your own individual path. And this is big because it will require a lot of discipline as usual, and it might not feel as if it's all like rainbows and butterflies, especially because Saturn and Venus will be also conjoined. So this can bring, well, there's a few positive things with Saturn and Venus being together, is that we have the ability to be more committed as well. So relationships might not feel necessarily too exciting. And I'm going to look at maybe this image first. This is a little bit how that Saturn Venus might feel like. At least this is the way I perceived it. It's like there's this whole new world outside. It's this whole new panorama. And you might feel alone. You might feel that the world does not understand you, that you might not necessarily have support, that you need to rely on yourself and your own intuition. And there's two options. It can seem very bright, or it can seem a little bit more gloomy or difficult. And the difference between this image and this one is it's the lens you put to it. Is what are your thoughts about reality and how are you creating reality? And as much as this may feel a little bit daunting, that this new path might feel lonely, it's also very exciting because it's about you being your unique, special being on this life. So to go back a little bit towards this new moon in Aquarius, there's a lot of possibility. There is the possibility to emerge into a whole new existence. And it's all up to you. Now, Aquarius, let's talk about the Aquarius paradigm, because this is the energy of the collective. And the collective is not necessarily it's the collective consciousness defines the reality that we live in. So this is where we're going to have to be very conscious about our decisions, our thoughts, and what we put out there. So if we live in fear, then we create fearful environments. And the Aquarian energy wants us to move forward as a collective. And now a lot of Aquarius energy is coming in. And when Pluto moves into Aquarius, it's going to be like big bada boom. So the Aquarian energy is like the clock. You see, this is like every little piece has a function. Every little piece is important for this whole clock to work. So it doesn't matter whether you are this pointer or you are this little knob or this little wheel. We are all unique individuals. And this is the main themes about Aquarius and about this end of the month, is to start realizing, how are you unique? What makes you unique? We all have a soul that is yearning and wanting to express itself as an individual. Being an individual doesn't mean that we're more special or less special than somebody else. It just means that we are unique, and that it doesn't matter what part of the clock we're in, we are special because we are part of a clock, or a part of a system or a society. And it could be even a greater society, even a galactic society. We are part of a cosmos, of a universe. And our existence is really, really important. And this is going to be put to the test for you time and again. How are you being unique? Are you being yourself within the fabric of society, or are you trying to still adapt and adjust to the mandates of of authorities? And when I mean mandates, I don't necessarily mean pandemic mandates. I mean patriarchal mandates. What your dad says, what the religion says, what teachers say. What about you? What's in your soul that wants to shine? And as we become our unique selves within this cosmic clock, what happens is that we can create a whole reality together. We co-create the reality we want to live in. And I will be definitely talking more about Aquarius in the future, as we will have a whole new paradigm shift. And this is what's starting to happen. This year is going to be a year of massive, massive shifts and accelerations. So you, in this shift and massive acceleration time, what are you? Define yourself, and this is part of defining your values. Part of the Saturn conjunction Venus as well is it's about definition of value. Saturn is not always the party pooper, right? It's also about defining values, defining your role within this fabric. What is your role? And this is going to be crucial to think of. If you're still in a role that does not, if you want to be something you're not, it's going to be ever more difficult. And then you might feel frustrated, and relationships might not go well. So you might feel that things are not really helping you. But life wants to help you. So make sure you redefine yourself in the most positive light. So this is where we also might have a lot of self-doubt, especially with Mercury squaring Chiron. We might even doubt our own minds, and we might have thoughts about not being capable, about not being good enough. This is part of the Venus-Saturn conjunction. Am I good enough? And this is why I'm telling you, it is so, so, so crucial at this time that that we give ourselves the value that we have, and trust your inner guidance. This is very important for this month. Trust those flashes of inspiration, because those are the ones that are going to give you the path, the way. The issue with having so many planets in Aquarius, and when Pluto moves into Aquarius, it's just going to be a lot of the out there, and whether it is new technologies, new systems that come in our society, we're going to have to adapt. But within that adaptation process, it's going to be very important that you really value yourself and your uniqueness. That's going to be crucial. Crucial. So this month, it's starting this month, by the end of the month. And last but not least, we have, by the end of the month at least, Venus will enter Pisces. And with the entry of Venus in Pisces, there's going to be a very different energy because we're going to transit through this like massive changes. And then there's going to be a possibility of connecting to one's spirit, to one's soul. Makes it for a time of art, artistic expression, dancing, flowing, going for walks in nature, close to water. And we're going to still have massive insights this whole month. Is going to be a month of amazing amounts of insights. This is the biggest one. This is your journaling month in the sense that every time you have an idea, please write it down, put it into action, and don't be afraid of the changes. Changes are coming whether we like them or not. So with this, I'm going to close this whole month of amazing possibilities and amazing changes. Changes are coming. Okay, so this is it. Themes for the month. So I know this video was a little bit long, but I'm going to try and do these monthly videos for you to have an overview of the whole month. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you very short weekly tips and for the week, which are going to be much shorter. This is part of me testing new things. It might work, it might not work, but at least I'm trying. And please, if you like the content and what I put out here, please feel free to share, like, and subscribe because, you know, these YouTube algorithms, work like that. The more likes you have and people subscribe, then this video can reach more people and the guidance can reach more people. So thank you very much again for watching, and I will give you tips for the week, just reminders about this whole energy so you stay in the loop of what's going on and specific guidance for your sign. All right. Blessings to you. Bye.